The cobbled climbs of Belgium ooze cycling history. They are super steep, short, punchy, and well, they're covered in brutal cobbles. The pros can make them look easy, but they can be notoriously difficult to ride. So we thought we'd come up with some top tips to help you conquer those cobble climbs, like Tom Boonen, Fabian Cancellara, and even the great Eddie Merckx himself. I'm in the wrong gear. No, I've lost it. I was in the wrong gear there. A good tip for riding on cobbled climbs is to try to get in the right gear before you're actually on the climb. It can be really tricky to change gear on a cobbled climb. You're bouncing all over the place and it's so steep that your cadence just drops so dramatically. And when you come to a stop, it's just so hard to get going again. So do yourself a favour, get in the right gear before you start the climb, and it will go a lot more smoothly. Oh, no, I better try that one again. Oh, that's much easier. Allez, 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 allez. Come on, full gas to the top. Now, don't be afraid to ride in the gutter when you're riding a cobble climb. You're not wimping out of anything. The pros do this all the time, and it's often quite a big fight to get into that gutter when you're in a race. It's obviously a lot smoother, therefore you can go faster. But you do have to be careful. Try to ride in the middle of the gutter, and when you're exiting it onto the cobbles, be careful of that lip on the cobbles because it can catch you out. Now also, race organisers can be quite cruel, placing barriers on the gutter to stop the pros going into it, forcing them onto the hard, rough cobbles. Now you want to be careful when getting out of the saddle on a cobble climb. If you put your weight too far forward, it's easy to slip and lose grip. You want to put your weight backwards, kind of over the saddle, putting the weight down on your back wheel. It'll give you more grip on the cobbles, keeping you in control, keeping that power on the pedals and moving you forward as fast as you can. It just got too much for me that time. These cobble climbs are just so difficult to ride. They're really tough actually. And if it does get too much for you, you have a mechanical on the climb and you're near the top, don't be afraid to just run the rest of it. Pick your bike up, put it on your shoulder, and just run your way to the top. The pros do it all the time. If you get stuck behind a crash and you can't get going again, it's really hard actually to get going again on the cobble climb. It's just so steep and it's hard to build your momentum to clip back in. So don't be afraid, just pick your bike up and run. Now when riding cobble climbs, you really want to try to pick your line up the climb. You want to look for where the cobbles are most uniform, where you can really pick the best way up, where they're smoothest and you can get the most grip. You want to try to avoid the places where the cobbles are really broken, where there's like jagged edges to the cobbles, they're sticking up, they've kind of been broken by any sort of storms or cars. This will really make it hard to get the grip on the cobbles and you'll struggle for traction, potentially bring yourself to a halt, but also reducing your speed and making that climb that much harder. You also want to avoid any muddy patches and damp patches, as this is another place where it's really hard to get the grip on the cobbles that you need to conquer the climb in the best way possible. Smooth is fast! Avoid those rough cobbles! Now when you attempt any cobble climb, I think the best approach is just to give it your biggest effort, from the bottom to the top. If you lose any speed on the climb, it can be quite hard to regain that speed and get going again. So the best method is just to attack it. Just go as hard as you can, keep your speed and maintain it to the top. It's gonna hurt no matter what, so you may as well just give it all you've got. Now, at the top of a climb, it can be easy to relax. You're so tired, you just conquered a massive cobble climb. But don't relax, get back up to speed quickly. This is one of my favourite corners in cycling, this. I'm gonna sprint, come on. Back up to speed. Now, personally, I would advise against descending down a cobble climb. It's just so tricky and quite dangerous. Even in the pro races now, you see race organisers stopping taking the race down cobbled descents. Look at the big one-day classic Gent-Wevelgem. They took the descent of the Kemmelberg out of the race because it was just too dangerous and riders were crashing too much. They actually made their own road to go round the descent, which was paved. Anyway, if you are finding yourself on a cobbled descent, just exert some caution. Be careful on the brakes, don't go too fast, and put your weight back behind the saddle. Just take it easy. These climbs are so steep. Now, I hope this video has helped you get up those cobble climbs. I just love the climbs of Belgium, especially the cobble ones. There's just so much history here. But I'll tell you what, my legs are hurting and I think I need to find a Belgian beer to help soothe the pain. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. And please let us know, what's your favourite cobble climb? Let us know in the comments section below. To get up the cobbles without slipping. And then he went there. That was a bit of a good one. Go on, you can do it. It's steep on this part. Only halfway.